All right, guys, I'm back here with Caleb in Spokane, Washington. How's it going, Caleb?
I'm alright. It's cold.
How old are you, Caleb?
35.
How long have you been homeless?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
Since, I guess. But then again, I've been outside my whole life, that's for sure. I lived in Africa most of my life, and then in Russia. And most of the time I was just outside running around like a little kid. Just a little hoodlum, I guess you could call it. But staying out of trouble. Working.
That's good. So you said you lived in Russia and Africa?
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm from.
How long you been in Spokane?
Maybe about 4 or 5 years this time, probably, yeah.
Do you do any substance abuse?
I don't abuse it, but I do use some things, yes. I get amphetamines because I got a bad heart. I got a pacemaker in my heart, and it helps my heart beat stronger, at least a little bit. And then I use fentanyl usually just because I couldn't, the opiates and stuff like that, it not only makes me sick, but it doesn't help the pain because I've been shot a lot living in Africa and living in Russia. And that's kind of why they started using the painkiller in the first place, because it gets so cold out here, and next thing you know, or not only that, I'm working all the time, and
What do you work doing?
I do windows, build houses, cars, move cars. I mean, there's not a job really that I don't do out here.
Where'd you sleep last night?
I didn't go to sleep last night, actually. I've just been up kind of just cleaning up and moving things around so I can hopefully go see my daughter today.
You have a daughter? How old is she?
She's 4. I mean, I guess. she's probably 3.5, innocent-wise, I guess.
Do you only have one daughter?
No, I got a lot of daughters. The numbers are so high, everybody just calls me crazy when I say it. So.
Do you get to see your daughter often?
I haven't seen my daughter, but for physically been in her presence and been able to hold her, I've seen her for maybe 24 hours, not even that, it's probably about 8 to 12 hours. We had a little pink wedding, a little like wedding, and then after that, I was holding her and she passed out on my chest. I went to sleep kind of on the beach. Just next thing you know, I'm getting called by my military sergeant at the time. He's like, "Hey, dude, you gotta go, man. There's a blood diamond camp. You need to go ahead, and it's not pretty." And I got up, and next thing you know, I'm out there, and I'm out in the desert, and I ain't been home since. And every time I try to go home, I've been trying to get home to ever since.
So you're a veteran, man?
Yes, sir.
What branch?
I wouldn't say a veteran. I'm still enlisted. I'm in the African Marine Corps right now. I'm part of the Navy right this second, but I mean, I'm just wondering, like, when I left my unit, man, and I only needed a wet team for about 2 or 3 days, man, and when I left the Navy, the whole time I've been there, I finally got them all thinking like the Marine Corps, you know what I mean? You don't leave nobody, man, and it just seems like they just leave, man.
Who left you behind?
All of them, in my eyes. Which is, I mean, I can't blame them, because that's kind of how the Navy's always kind of, you know what I mean? That's kind of how they move, but I did all the work. You guys just sat back and I'd go get the babies. You just stay there and I'll get them, and you just take the babies home. When you're done, me the fuck out of here. I mean, I've been moving, and I'm my own goddamn. I'm not a tracker, but I definitely know how to go and move an environment and move through an environment really well. But so I mean, like, there's no excuse for me not being able to get to certain places, but there is an excuse when you go and you lock yourself away from that because you know you're violent, and there's a or a diamond down here that just go kaboom. And once it locks, if I'm sitting down here, it's toast, man. This is not mine, it's my daughter's. It goes and I'm down here alone, it's gonna immediately think, hey, dude, you're the culprit. Kaboom.
Hey, man, how many blues do you do a day?
If I was at home, I'd probably consume a good amount of them, but they don't really do nothing to me because I've been taking them since I was a little kid, because I've always had issues with my body because I've been shot a lot and my legs are coasted.
When you say you've been shot a lot, was that in the military or what?
That and in the street. I've walked up to people's cars to go and try to help them or whatever, thinking that it was, a good situation, and someone's, in Russia and in Africa in those times. I mean, everybody's freaking the hell out. A shotgun come out the damn window, bam, a stomach full of buckshot, man. You're kind of just screwed sitting on the street for a while.
What would your message be to the youth?
You're fine. I love you. I miss you. That's it. I'm trying my best to get home. I want to come home in a certain mindset that I know you guys expected me, and there's just certain things that I expect from the other side of you guys that you should have no worry about whatsoever. That I'm just having a little bit of conflict right now, and I'm trying to get my car and come home, but I don't want my car. That's not what the issue is. My car's obviously already at home.
When you say your car's at home, where's home?
Safe haven. We're in my daughter. When I leave, that's what I mean by rude. That's my conflict, is coming home with something like that. And my mentality of thinking that the environment I left is rude, and it's not. Exactly. Because you've set it up that way, like a video game. Because your phone, slot machine, video game, this video game, that. Which is fine. But you keep dragging me into the thing, man.
Who keeps dragging you in?
I don't know, because if I knew who he was, he'd probably be hanging from that post right there for being a in front of my guy as long as he's been doing it. And then getting his all riled up thinking they're just tough. They're a bunch of fucking bags, and my kids would just smack at him. It's just not something that should be an issue right now. Let alone my kids aren't supposed to be violent. I'm trying to go and drop that tone of person of my own self and move on with my life, because it's not necessary. I got my 3 kids on the way, man. I'm sitting out here being a damn nutcase. It's stupid.
How do you think people view homelessness?
It's not. Home is what you make it. Home is where you make it. I've been in the jungle for a long time. I'm used to being out, and this is nothing. I'm used to being out huge, wide open, damn sand-based, if not sand-based, and just rock-based areas, living out in the middle of the desert in Africa. So I'm not. It's not the environment. It's the people and the company you keep. That's the company that's, you know what I mean, that I'm sitting out here trying to group together. 1 minute everything's just kosher, A-okay, and next everybody just seems like they're crying and yelling at me like I did something wrong. And all I'm trying to do is go home in the first place. I'm just trying to go and make it with you or without you. And then when they get mad at me, they just hold me here.
Who's yelling at you?
I don't know, but they definitely ain't yelling at me when I'm looking at them in their face, and I go walk around the damn corner, come back around, and then the next thing you know, it's like Debo say, you know what I mean? I'll be talking to Debo not around, but Debo come around, I shut up, you leave, I'll be talking again.
Hey, bro,
I'm tired of being Debo.
What's your message to your family if they see this video?
I love you. I miss you. I need you to help me come home. And the only way that I can get home is if I have the car that Africa, China, and Russia, have all put our monies and things into. It's a science that you can't just leave behind down here without a huge destruction. It's gonna go kaboom. And don't get me wrong, you'd be completely fine, but I wouldn't. And believe me, I'm tired of and let alone, I'm just tired of seeing her. When there's a complete, just adult-like approach to this, and it's just, sometimes you gotta follow instruction of an instructor that you don't like or you like. It doesn't matter, okay? Even if it's God or whatever it is you want to look at, sometimes you just got Listen,
Where'd you sleep last night, man?
I didn't sleep. Like I said, I just been.
That's right. You did say that already. My bad, man. Lastly, would you be okay with me posting this on my YouTube channel, brother?
You can post that wherever you want, man.
I appreciate it, man. Do you have an email or phone number if one of the viewers would like to give you a donation, or if some of the viewers would? Do you have either one?
Just mail it to me. Just put in Jacob Connor or put in Caleb Connor, and it'll just mail it right to me at the general delivery, as far as I know.
All right, brother. I appreciate the video. Thank you, man.
See you guys later.